All right, Schlockmeister fans, I'm gonna watch something here never seen before called Blood Delirium. Let's check it out. This is Sybil getting a message from herself from the future.
As if I were already dead. But in the infinite, in the future, everything's clear.
You're alive! And you're speaking to me from the future!
The future is as real as the present.
This is her boyfriend, Gerard.
She spoke to me.
My dear, did you see her? Did you touch her? Then she doesn't exist.
This is an artist named Simone. His wife is dying.
Darling, don't leave me. Please, don't.
I'm sorry, Maestro. It's all over. Cover the body. I'll sign the death certificate. No!
Now this is Herman. He's the butler of the house, and now he's feeling up the dead body. Fast forward 1 year later, he's struggling with his painting. He needs inspiration.
I'll bring you home.
When he said, "I'll bring you home," he was referring to his dead wife, Christine. She's looked better. So they prop up her corpse, put a mask on it, and set her on the piano bench. Now he hopes he'll be inspired. Instead, he gets images of Christine laughing at him.
Get her out of here! She's laughing at me! Get her out of here!
At his art show, he sees someone who looks like Christine.
It looks like me. How strange. That's what I do.
It's Sybil.
I'm a pianist.
Before she died, she promised to come back to me. I can hardly believe it. But it's true, you've come back, haven't you?
They meet up again later.
He's been with me for a great number of years.
How do you do?
He still kept his pervy
Sybil
butler.
will be staying with us for a few days. Her car broke just down the road. See what you can do.
So she's staying there for a couple
It's
weeks.
happened before. One soul in two bodies. One person in two places at the same time. There are many examples.
Herman is still a pervert, though, and when he sees a young woman in town, he can't help himself.
I can get it going.
Hands off the merchandise! Let go of me! Cut your face!
She has to end up using a knife to cut him off.
Can you give me the color of suffering? The color of life? This magnificent planet? Lost in the vortex of the infinite galaxy.
Later on, Herman goes after that young woman again. And this time he kills her. Simone yells at him. And then when they're going to clean it up, he realizes something.
This is the color I'm looking for.
So they hang her upside down and drain her of all her blood. And that becomes the norm. He needs the blood for his new paintings. Sybil, meanwhile, is poking around at one point and finds a bunch of bodies. So they have no choice but to knock her out.
Don't worry, you won't feel a thing.
She eventually finds a way to get loose and make a phone call to her friend
I can
Corinne.
hardly hear you. It's 3 in the morning, Sybil. What's going on? Oh, they're going to kill me, Corinne. Help!
Mademoiselle Sybil sent me.
Herman then shows up at Corinne's
She's not
house.
feeling well. She needs your help.
What's happened to her?
She can tell you that for herself.
That's her car.
So he takes her to the estate and they set the dogs on her. Suddenly he has the inspiration he needs and the blood he needs. Sybil's boyfriend, Gerard, shows up after poking around, figuring out where she was calling from.
Just a minute. What is it?
He leaves thinking Sybil isn't there,
that's
but
her
then
car. That's Sybil's car.
he tries again.
What have you done with Sybil, you bastard? Where is she?
Gerard gets the upper hand on Herman. And then he's going to find Corinne's body. A fight ensues between Gerard and Simone.
Sybil? Sybil?
They both get caught and both get
No one
trained
has
in
ever
Sybil.
found such color before. Not in oil, not in temperament.
Then, for no apparent reason, all of his paintings start crying blood, and then they start on fire.
Now,
Christine?
Apparently, the ghost of Christine comes out in the form of two glowing orbs. Gerard and Sybil free themselves. They make their way outside, but the ghost of Christine says goodbye to her.
you're free. No one will ever hurt you again.
Meanwhile, the house starts to collapse in on Herman and Simone. And somehow there's a helicopter out there, and Gerard and Sybil make their escape in it. Apparently he can pilot. All right, let's talk about this movie, Blood Delirium. I've never seen this movie before. I picked this up recently on a Vinegar Syndrome sale. I think they're Memorial Day sale. Wanted to get $100 spent so I could use my PayPal credit option. Only wanted a couple movies, but I needed to get $100, so I grabbed a few more, including this one. So anyway, Blood Delirium. It's an Italian-made film, 1988, I think it was. Weird little film. This guy who thinks he's Vincent van Gogh, he's a painter. He's obsessed with Vincent van Gogh. He thinks he's like the reincarnation of Vincent. His girlfriend, I don't know, or his girlfriend, wife, I'm not sure. Wife, I guess it was, dies from some unknown ailment. She's young, they're probably about in their early 30s or so. She dies. And then he's distraught. He lives in this big castle with this guy named Herman, who's this perverted guy. After Christine, the wife, dies, Herman actually starts to assault the body, lifts up her skirt when she's dead and starts, going down there and doing things, kissing her feet. It's just, he's a perv. But nonetheless, even though he gets caught by Saint Simon, our main guy there, our painter, he still keeps Herman on as an employee. So I guess he needs somebody to run the castle, right? So anyway, later on, he has this show like a year later, or not before that. A year later, he decides he misses his wife so much that he takes Herman and they go dig her up. She's in like a mausoleum. They take out her coffin. Her face is a mess. There's mostly a skull at this point, worms in there, but he takes her back to get inspired. Well, it doesn't really work, but then nonetheless, they keep her propped up by the piano. Later on, he has a showing of his paintings, and he meets a woman there named Sybil. Or is it Simone? I can't remember. It starts with an S, something like that. I think it was Sybil. Sybil, yeah. Or was it Siobhan? Jesus Christ, I don't remember anymore. Let's see if I can find on the back of the box here. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. We'll just call her Sybil. There you go, Sybil. And and she looks exactly like Christine, which is obvious because it's the same actress playing both parts. So he thought, wow, Christine said she was going to come back to me. This is it. So somehow he befriends her, even though she has a boyfriend named Gerard. She has like a car accident or something, or maybe it was something Herman did to her car. Anyway, he had to rescue her and bring her back to the castle where she's going to stay for a couple weeks, whatever. Meanwhile, Herman is going out and killing young ladies and women, assaulting them, then bringing them back so they can drain blood from them. and he uses the blood. Simone does. Simone, whatever his name is, uses the blood for his paintings. He's like, this is the perfect color I've been looking for. So he sends Herman out, bring back blood. So obviously, as he paints more and more, they need more and more blood. He needs to kill more and more people. Well, eventually, they put Sybil in some sort of trance or something. I don't know. And Herman is collecting all these bodies in this perverse little zoo basement he has. Simone at one point is able to call, Sybil is able to call her friend Corinne and ask for help, but she doesn't know where she is. Corinne figures out that where she is and goes to try to help her without telling anybody. And she ends up getting killed and getting her blood drained too. Gerard, the boyfriend, eventually tracks them down as well because Corinne had left a voicemail for him before she left. He ends up at the castle too, figures out something's going on. He tries to rescue Sybil. He gets captured at one point. They start to drain their blood too. But then before that happens, like inexplicably, Simone's paintings start to bleed blood from the eyes and the mouth. And then the whole place starts on fire. And then Gerard and Sybil are able to free themselves and run out of the house before everything collapses. And Herman and Simone die when stuff falls on them. And that's pretty much our movie. Oh, no, at the end, Gerard and Sybil stumble upon a helicopter and escape that way. Whatever. Anyway, strange film. That's Blood Delirium. I was a little long-winded there, but I kind of enjoyed it, I guess. It's a hour and 35 minutes, something like that. A lot of nudity in this movie. And that keeps it going as well. Some decent gore. It's just kind of it's an odd little relic of a film. It's just perverted. It's gross. There's some necrophilia kind of stuff thrown in there. My kind of movie. Total exploitation here. So there you go. Got not much more to tell you about it, but you should definitely check this one out. It's not a great film by any means, but it's fun. Check it out. Leave some comments. I know anything about Blood Delirium. Watch it. Bye. I'll leave a link to Amazon down below. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it.